just quick, if a question is asked of you that you do not know, let's say, Willie, what is a consumer? And you are just, where could you look?
Right there.
And so, Willie, what's a consumer? So we look over here, right? So just pretend we don't have our glasses today. So we're gonna ask someone else here to. What is a producer, Jocelyn?
A producer is an organism that makes its own food like a plant.
Let's all say the word organism.
Organism.
Organ is organism.
Organism.
I know it's just kind of a weird word, right? It is odd. Okay, now for the word decomposer, do you hear another word in that word? Within the word? What do we hear? Ala, can you say it? In the word decomposer or decompose, do you hear a word?
I hear
Composer or compose? Has anyone ever composed a written piece of work, like composed an essay, or sorry, composed a sentence? Written a sentence, or composed a project? So, and now let's see. When we hear D, like de-stress, are you getting yourself worked up, or are you calming down? So if I am decomposing something, and we know composing is to make, and that D prefix is to, like let's say, to let go, to back off, to make lesser. What would decompose? What could that be? Could it be to, just from listening to that? Aaron?
For something to break down.
And so compose is to make, decompose is like the opposite of making it, or breaking down. I'm just, like if you're lost and you don't know, a word or something, look at the different parts of the word and you might be able to go from there, okay? Just putting that out there because these are academic, scientific, vocabulary type words that you're not normally going to be using.
I'm going to add one more thing into that. I want you guys to think about what you've been doing in music, where you're creating your own songs, right? You are acting as composers when you do that, aren't you?
Yes.
You are composing something original, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose. You find something, a rhythm or a beat you like, and you keep doing that, or it just magically happens and you go, oh, I like what I did there. So you're composing in that moment. So sometimes you have to teach somebody your song, and when Mrs. Fullerton teaches you this part, she's only giving you a small chunk of it, right? She's decomposing the whole song so she can just give you a part of it. So that's where that word could also be used. You do see it in music, okay? As you're acting as a composer, you typically don't act as a decomposer there because you're not taking the song apart. You're creating something, right? Putting it together. Okay, I've said my piece. I will be quiet.
That was helpful. I like that. And knowing that you guys you're working on a part of a whole of something, would that be like an excerpt, like the Tom Sawyer part? You're reading just a little snippet of it. You're doing that with your music. It's just a little snapshot excerpt of the. We did already watch this, so we're gonna open to page 112 if you're not already there. 102. Apologies. 10 off. And the last time we went over beginning we were showing the flow of energy and matter through the ecosystem model for which species is at the center, or what animal is at the center. Yes, Sarah? Humpback whale, yes. And what are we supposed to be doing? How are we showing this transfer of energy and
drawing the lines of energy going to the hagfish, the bacteria, the centipede, and the
that was very specific scientific vocabulary in terms of the species. And for that line, what would we make that line into to show which way the matter and energy is flowing, Ari? A line or a?
It's like an arrow pointing from the whale, it's just a straight line, and once you get to the animal that eats the humpback whale, you put like an arrow facing towards the hagfish.
Exactly.
You do the same with all the other animals.
Yes, very good explanation. So, yes, we were showing that transfer of energy by connecting the different species with arrows. And I see some of us have, raise your hand if you have begun showing the connection to the animals, even just one arrow. most of us have. But it's not work. Luckily, this is something that we've been going over just in different contexts or environments, right? Since the beginning of the year almost, so should be able to cite for that, yeah?
In this video, she said that all the bacteria from humpback whales and potato crab could also get some energy and matter from it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, because it's kind of like you're touching, like you're going to touch something, but there's probably germs on it that you're inevitably gonna get with that. Like you don't have control over that. It comes with it, kind of like seasoning on food or anything. So the bacteria is just sprinkled on. Nice, right? Did you know bacteria is everywhere, all around you,
Yeah.
all on your body and the ground and your seat and over there. Yeah. So first, what we're going to do is get back with our elbow partners just for 3 minutes and just decide where you're going to connect those arrows. There are only a few different things there that you are going to be connecting, so it shouldn't take long. And then we're going to go over the different questions. That means in 3 minutes we should all have arrows connecting the species on our
So are you done with your arrows? So there's no flow of energy from the bacteria to anything? Yeah, so you have to make sure your arrows are going in the correct direction, right? Is humpback whales getting energy from anything anymore? Is different.
It still has energy though.
It does for the time being. And then, when we saw the video yesterday, the day before, the video that showed eventually when all that's left is bones, doesn't it also become an ecosystem? So even the smallest little particles that are you would think. That's a tube water. And when we saw the video the other day, I had the red stuff that was kind of floating on the current. And that was those living beings. They were eating the tiniest particles go after the carcass of the whale. And as it's decomposing, you're thinking, oh, that's it, it's gone. But not really, there's still plenty left in there. Plenty of energy still there. So that's bacteria. That's on your chair right now. It's thriving in the chair. So it can live anywhere. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh,
Yeah, there's bacteria everywhere.
All right, I'm gonna let her move on.
There's bacteria on your hair right now. There's bacteria on your inside of this. Wait, then your guys, your hat, my eyebrows, LeBron. They're inside of our earrings right now. That looks cool. Oh yeah. That's what I said. What you said. This is what you said. I said
Okay, so now let's see what we came up with.
oh, I have some brilliant
You have
ideas.
some brilliant ideas. How about we're gonna have a couple people come up, and you're just going to draw one arrow. And what are these arrows representing?
The matter that goes into the animals.
And with matter, why do they have matter? What are they consuming, Jensen? Hi. What do the arrows show? What are they? Why are we making arrows in this diagram? What are they for? They're showing energy and. Yes. So we're using the handy dandy chips to call a few students up and show just one of the arrows, like movements, matter, or energy that you have. Okay. 18.
Oh, it's all Is it a 3D streak?
Maybe it's the top chip.
Or maybe the teacher is just trying to make sure she engages a certain student.
Yeah, do that.
Maybe.
What do you do?
See? I'm not alone. Isn't it a struggle? Let's see. Oh, there we go.
You have to put annotations done in your book.
Uh-huh. Nice. Yeah, that one's tricky. That one's tricky. If you don't have that arrow, you can draw it in.
I didn't see that one in a lot of students' books, so if you didn't get that one.
And what is that showing? That's showing transfer of energy from
From the bacteria going to lumpish.
26.
No! I'm done.
It's okay. She's coming. Princess is telling us. Come on, Angelique. You got this. Can you sit down, please?
What do we think?
No, not yet.
Do back. So with this arrow, we see bacteria eating or getting energy from tube worm.
No.
Or
No, she's saying the bacteria died.
Sorry. Yes. So does the tube worm get its energy from bacteria?
Nope.
No.
No, not exactly. But it's a good.
Yes.
Wait, but the book is wrong.
Well, the book just doesn't
Or it's
show
not
that
wrong.
connection.
Yeah.
It just doesn't show it, and because
I was thinking, like, yes, that would make sense.
as a teacher, we're going to look at our teacher's manual, and I do believe tube worms would get energy from bacteria because they attach
It's
themselves,
inevitable,
right?
Because they're attached to a certain color. Bacteria.
Exactly. Yeah. As I was saying that, I was like, wait, no, I'm going against what I said. Because it's inevitable.
But I think the whole image that they gave us is intended to have the humpback whale at the center of all of this.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't typically have an arrow that goes from the bacteria to the humpback whale to the tube worm.
Yeah.
Is there a way for us to get that arrow just from the bacteria to the tube worm?
Yes, with line.
We'd have to draw it a little differently, wouldn't we?
A little like a web or a but that is.
So I appreciate that answer, and it also allows us to talk about that, right?
Holy guys.
Good job. Good job, Angelia.
Would you say that's the same as saying you get your energy from the sun?
Yes.
I mean, it's a bigger picture, just in that sense. Bigger picture.
Yeah, we
Like,
want to be careful with that
yeah.
one. Because we're not plants.
That's true. As I was saying, I was like, no, this is not right. The book says so. But then just because the book says it's not a thing.
It actually doesn't say
it's not.
it's
It's
not.
not.
It says
Yeah.
it is there, so I need to answer.
Doesn't mean.
Sometimes I trust your gut. 7.
I like it.
What is this showing? Yes? Yes, hagfish getting energy from a whale. 23. Come on down to the game show. Who's giving that energy anyway? Sorry. Yes. Bacteria. What is this arrow showing?
Going into the tentacle. The tentacle.
Going in, so that is it going into it? What are the arrows showing?
Going into it.
Transfer of energy?
Yes.
So do we agree?
Yes.
Yes. I told you. One move.
silly with that. And it's not just him, we've got the whole group at the back as well, so figure that part out, boys and girls. I love for you, I appreciate when you appreciate each other and your successes, but when you turn it into a joke, is it a celebration anymore? No, now it's a joke. So find that fine line where the applause is appropriate and then we stop. We don't keep going just to make noise. All right?
Has anyone ever seen someone in like let's say a movie, they do something not so smart, and then there's someone like, nice job, good job, being sarcastic? That's what we want to avoid, that kind of sarcastic tone, even if you don't need to portray that. It could come off that way if someone's not, or yeah, it could, you never know how it could appear. Let's see, okay, we still have quite a few arrows, yes. We're gonna, 9. I'm not making, and I had to double check. Yeah, I know, because they're getting lucky, but I feel like.
Noise, man.
We got one other than the back area. Good. How do we feel about that one? Good. You have that one on your paper?
Yeah.
20.
We're talking about the flow of energy or matter from a decomposer. Is there energy that's being transferred from the whale to any of these other participants?
Who's feeding off of who? Right now, this hagfish is getting energy and it's feeding off from the whale, so. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah? Are you guys noticing that everything is super connected in life? No? You're not? Oh gosh. 8. I was so close. Oh, the urgency. Come on, come on. Let's go.
Let's go, Lucas. He's not Lucas, but he is. Yeah.
Come back to the tooth worm. So it seems as though the main source of energy is this. It seems like everything in the ecosystem is getting energy from that. Yes. 1.
That would be the only one that they may not know, right? This one here.
Yes, that's it. Yes. That one is yes.
They'd have to remember the order.
And the outer ones, leave it.
Oh wait, I got it.
And if we know that the bacteria is everywhere, are there any that one is not there, but I lost here. The hagfish, so these are both types of decomposers. The scavengers go after the meat carcass, so a hagfish would be going after that meat, cleaning the bones off for the smaller bottom feeders to get food. So do you guys think that crabs can eat worms? Or the equivalent, little tube worms? Crabs are also known as like bottom feeders, bottom dwellers. Think about the critters outside, like a mouse and an earthworm. So yes, I know that one is tricky, and that one, Cameron and I, this one was in the text. So it was either seen in the video yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was in a paragraph in the reading that was from a few weeks ago. So this connection here, the tanner crab getting energy from the tube worm, that's not the one that was very obvious, but it is.
Is that good? Are we done?
Do we feel? Are there any that you do not see up there that you feel should be?
No.
The bacteria to the whale.
The whale can't get energy from anything.
No, no,
Yeah,
The whale
I think I have
is
a
no longer living, but it's a host for bacteria.
And that's why the bacteria does get matter and energy from the whale. We already have that.
And guess I'm just thinking this. Maybe the hogfish, the tube worm to the hogfish.
I'm not sure about the hagfish eating the tube worms. I saw it really burrowing into the flesh of the decomposing whale, but I don't remember it sticking around long enough for those tube worms to be there. Because the hagfish arrived pretty early on.
The hagfish arrived in 3 hours.
Yeah, it was something that it got in there for that meal.
What about the
hagfish?
hogfish?
And then the tanner crab with the worm, and then
We don't have the hogfish to the tanner crab yet. We just have the tanner crab to the hogfish.
Again, I don't think the tanner crab
Oh, yeah,
likes
but
the
no,
no, it
hagfish.
doesn't.
Think
We
like
saw it.
a hyena, right? That's a scavenger out in a different type of ecosystem. And a hyena eats the dead animal, the meat, right? The organs, the innards, all that. So they're not the ones that are like cleaning the bones. They're getting it to the point where it's just, they've gotten it down to the point where now even smaller things are going to break it down further. So the hagfish will not get energy from the tube worm. But we're thinking, and do you see how this can relate to the, hey Eric, if we were pretending this is like a model with an elk and a plant and the sun, what would be the equivalent of the sun here? What is the main source of energy? Yes, you do know. Okay.
Hey,
And I know that was tricky and kind of, no species that you're going to really ever come into, well, you're not going to encounter probably unless you're at the bottom of the ocean. But the reason why we were going over such a specific environment is so you can see that no matter what sort of, you guys are right in front of me and I can't finish the sentence without getting distracted by like some laughing or seeing you in the corner of my eye. Just figure something. The point is, no matter what ecosystem, this little flow of energy and matter and life, every single part of that is there for a reason, and without decomposers, do you think, or how do you think this would function without a decomposer? Would it function?
Would the crabfish and the hagfish and the tanner crab, would they have enough to eat if there were not these instances of decomposing whales?
No.
Yeah, they mentioned early on in the video that the very bottom of the ocean, there's very little life, correct?
Yeah.
And they rely on things like a decomposing humpback whale to provide those essential nutrients for all these various things. And they all come at different times. And they talk about 50 years later is when we're seeing the bones become an ecosystem all its own, right? But early on, right after that whale has sunk to the bottom is when those hagfish come along.
But they also have to hope that the people from the top LPA before they go down to the bottom.
When you say people, are people from the top? Okay, yes, other animals, I'm sure there are other scavengers in the ocean that are gonna take their nips here and there as it's sinking to the bottom. It doesn't just instantaneously drop to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So you're right, everybody's getting a piece, aren't they? Nothing goes to waste, okay?
Even the waste is then recycled back into the food, the web of life, the tree of life. Have you heard the tree of life? Have you heard that before? No, the tree of, no, oh, okay. I don't know, okay. The tree of life, do you, in a tree, like a branch, when you are, in math, when you're making your, how can you make the number 10? 5 and 2, how it branches out. So the tree of life would be, it starts here and everything is connected, kind of. That was, yes, but anyway, that concludes the science lesson for the day.
All right, my friends, let's go ahead and put away our twig books.
I almost grasp that it is